Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and you guys aren't going to believe this, but I have another Salem video for you guys today. So we're back with a live reaction replay, once again featuring the Tier 10 American Reward Heavy Cruiser, the Salem. This time captained by Sparty27. Now, oh, I just noticed too, all my replay settings have been changed. That is most unfortunate. So let's get these guys back up. But anyway, yet again, the Salem is being featured here on the channel. It is a very, 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 in my opinion, good premium cruiser for you to pick up if you are interested in getting a coal ship. She is, I believe, one of the first coal ships ever added to the game. And if you have a Des Moines, you are pretty familiar with the Salem's playstyle. You know, you find an island, get your ship huddled up right next to it, and use your American AP and HE shells to your ships, well, benefit quite greatly so. And detriment to the enemy ships, I should add in. And I know we've been getting quite a few Salem videos here in the past, what, like 2 replays have been Salem videos? But, I mean, this one, you're going to want to stick around for. I haven't watched it beforehand, but the feller that sent this in, Sparty, sent in a little bit more detail than most of you guys do send in when you send in these replays for me to do a live reaction replay too. So I have a decent idea of how this turns out, but again, I don't know exactly what happens. And if you missed that, this is a live reaction replay, so I'm sitting here watching this with you guys for the very first time. So I haven't watched this beforehand. Like I said, I have a general idea of what happens, but I don't know the details. So it looks like we're on Arms Race, which is a very interesting mode. Very surprised that a mode like Airship Escort gets removed, but a super arcade mode like Arms Race is still in the game. But I guess, you know, I don't make those decisions, so here we are. He's pushing on down the eastern side of the map where the sea flank would normally be, going pretty full tilt for a Salem. Typically with a Salem or any American heavy or light cruiser, you want to be a little more cautious because, as you can see by the Salem's freeboard, it's got a lot of it, sits up pretty high out the water. And most battleship players absolutely love to see broadside American cruisers. Oh, this is interesting. He's opening up from 15 kilometers on a Brindisi with the AP. Ooh, but there's a Pozarski there at 11 kilometers out. Alright, so I'm guessing he either saw the submarine torp, saw the sub spotted for a brief second, and popped his... oh, that's a Schlieffen. And popped his radar, hoping to catch a submarine either on the surface or at periscope depth. And, he did not catch him. The Salem does have radar, but it is a pretty gimped radar. It only has a range of 8.5 kilometers versus the 10 kilometers you can get on the Des Moines. You also notice too the Salem cannot take the hydroacoustic search and radar wombo combo. It has to pick between hydro or radar, unlike the Des Moines. Now the Salem does, if you missed our last couple of Salem videos, have a super hill. So unlike the Des Moines that can and will get vibe checked by large caliber battleship guns, the Salem can get vibe checked too, but she can recover afterwards with that super hill. So the Pozarski over here, ate a torpedo up his rudder. He's opening up on him with his AP. This should be pretty good. Should have chugged superstructure for a fair amount of that AP. Yep, there you go, 4,600. And couple that with the Salem's very excellent reload time, and you have a nice damage income right there. Looks like his superstructure is getting a little bit saturated. I would probably swap to HE by now. But honestly, if he clips in here with another decent salvo or two, he will be quite dead. Pozarski returns the favor, but I think he dumped the shells a little bit shallow. Yep, okay, so he swept over his HE now. And yeah, this should be a dead Pozarski. Oh, but the kill does get stolen from him by the Bilal. Boo, right? Because sub bad. Alright, there's that Brindisi again at 14 kilometers with the AP. That's a little optimistic because the angle that the AP is plunging in at that range, unless the Brindisi has much weaker deck armor than I remember, that's probably not going to be... oh, I'll shut up now. Okay, it worked. Alright. Double Citadel. I'll be quiet. Okay. My experience, you typically want to use the AP at like 12 kilometers in, because then at that range, the arcs are quite favorable, but like you've all seen before if you've played American ships or been attacked by American ships, especially the light cruisers and the heavy cruisers, their shell arcs are kind of miserable, especially at that range. But I guess it's good enough to murder a Brindisi Citadel. Ooh, the Hayate, I believe, got the enemy... No, sorry, that's the friendly submarine that went down. The enemy 2501 is still up. Oh, yeah, friendly team's down a submarine and a cruiser already, while the enemy team is simply down one cruiser. The enemy team does have 2 charges of the healing buff going, and it's a pretty scary situation for Sparty right now. I mean, he's being spotted. He can't see what's spotting him. And, well, you got Laurie over here with amazing sap that can and will absolutely just murder anything near like the same. Ooh, Stalingrad, 12 kilometers. That you can AP. We all remember that from, was it last week's top 5 video? Oh, this is going to be beautiful here, fellas. Get ready to see Soviet bias meeting American capitalism here. If you can get it to land just right. I think the Stalingrad's starting to angle out, but I mean, he's still chewing through him pretty good, even though he's not citadeling him. Alright, he just did pick up a healing buff for his team. He swapped over to the HE. Couldn't quite get the shells in there just right, but I mean, look at that. He is melting him down quite well already. So, let's see how this goes. Yeah, I would be very worried. Ooh, double fire there. Ooh, Holland, 6 kilometers away. I'd be worried about that Laria cranking off a shot either with his AP or his sap, because again, either one is going to hurt the Salem quite well. The Stalingrad does take out a Riga. Ooh, okay, good hit there on the Holland for about 4,000 damage. This should take him out. Alright, there we go. His first kill of the game. Teams are fairly even so far. Friendly teams have a slight advantage in terms of having the reload buff, but the enemy team does have a full-on healing buff. If that Marceau can go dark, for example, he's going to be able to heal up quite a bit of his HP. Then speaking of that Marceau, he does manage to take out the friendly Hayate. So, big unfortunate there. So the friendly team is down a destroyer, a submarine, and 2 cruisers now versus just the single destroyer and cruiser. The friendly team is down. Salmon gets spotted. Ooh, and taken out by the Mecklenburg. Very good. Like, Schlieffen secondaries are starting to open up on the enemy Tirpitz. That's not going to go well for the Tirpitz if that Schlieffen does keep his... somebody lagged. Huh. Okay, so that's pretty good. The replay didn't absolutely crap itself. Sometimes when you see those bits of lag, the replay file just doesn't like that, you know, and just gives up. But thankfully, this replay file is still chugging. Bow in Tirpitz, that's something you never want to do in a German battleship. They are not meant to bow tank. You should be moving. I'm not saying you should be W-keying into the enemy team. I'm saying you should always be on the move. Maybe just doing some donuts in the back. So the friendly team right now, they have this eastern flank on lock pretty good. But the thing is, you can't sit here, especially in arms race. As you guys see now, the cap circle has spawned, and you've got a Tirpitz and a Schlieffen pushing into the middle cap circle, while most of the friendly ships are out here in the east. Now, for the time being, Sparty and the Grozovoy and the Mecklenburg are in the cap circle, but it is going to shrink, so you got to go along with it. Mecklenburg does take out the enemy Tirpitz, so that's a pretty cool move, but I believe the Schlieffen is probably going to return the favor here with his 4 set of torps. And speaking of torpedoes, there's the 2501's torps. Don't look like they were targeted at Sparty. Probably at the Thunderer behind him, so you might have just saved that Thunderer there if he spotted those torpedoes. Alright, Mecklenburg showing broadside, swapped over to the AP. Alright, so this should be a pretty nice tear here into the Schlieffen. Oh, actually no, the Schlieffen's starting to turn now. So I would go ahead and swap him back over to HE if he could. Okay, there he goes. He has HE now, sending it over the island. Mecklenburg eats a big hit there. And now you've got... Whose torps are those? Probably the Berdisius torps. Schlieffen does take out the friendly Mecklenburg, unfortunately. Here comes the Laria shells. And, yeah, don't look. That'll make the shells go away. Oh, it actually do. It actually did. The shells hit the island that he's hiding behind. Alright, so he's pushing up here to get shots in on the Schlieffen to keep the cap contested. Because whatever team captures this cap... It's a huge gain in points. It's like 10 points a tick, something insane like that. So definitely something you don't want to just give the enemy team. Now the enemy team is fairly spread out right now. So if they can manage to kind of whittle them down one at a time, this could be a win. There comes the very, very slow Schlieffen torp. Should be a dead Schlieffen there from the Thunderer AP. Okay, or not. I think there's actually Thunderer HE. It should have been a dead Schlieffen there. Alright, so shoving his nose into an island, but unfortunately finding out that the rock is indeed tall enough. Okay, he's doing a very good job of showing that island who's boss. But there we go, AP into the bow, and that is his second kill of the game, finishing off that Schlieffen. Okay, well then there goes the friendly Schlieffen. Dang. The Stalingrad takes him out. I think that Stalingrad is... we should be healing from the triple healing buff. Up there goes the Thunder HE, and there we go. That's one less Stalin in the world. Alright, teams are fairly equal right now. The friendly team has a slight advantage in the terms of points, but it is fairly even in terms of ships 5-5. But the enemy team does have more heavy units up. They have a Kremlin and a Lauria still alive, while the friendly... never mind, there's a... oh, sorry, that was a U-2501. The friendly team only has one battleship left up. Now, Sparty has not had to use any of his super heals yet, so he's going to have that in his back pocket when he has to deal with whatever he's going to deal with here in the next couple of minutes, which he's probably going to need, especially if one of those ships is a Kremlin, which can just punch right through the nose armor of the Salem and the Des Moines. So it looks like the Des Moines is heading, the enemy Des Moines heading back towards the cap at least, gave up pursuing the friendly Salmon, who's way the heck out there. Kremlin, Lauria, and what's the other? Is it still it's not Stalingrad anymore. No, it is the Brindisi from earlier that he citadeled at 15 kilometers. That blew my mind away. Des Moines does have the Salmon still in his sights though, or is he just kind of generic carpet bombing where he thinks the Salmon's at? Salmon's got the surface here in a second, so the Des Moines should spot him. But he did just blow both of his... oh, yep, there it is. That's probably a dead Salmon here. But the Des Moines will probably be distracted by said Salmon. So that leaves room for Sparty here to... ooh, can he get the AP over it? Yeah, but unfortunately does not hit the Citadel. So he's going after the Des Moines now. So they have captured the central cap point, which is good. Pops the radar to see where that Des Moines is going. Des Moines does have him in Hydro range right now. But that Kremlin is probably... oh, that's almost a full health Kremlin too. That's not good. That Kremlin's going to push into the A cap and more than likely disputes these points. But here comes the Des Moines. What is he going to do? He's turning around. That's smart. He's not coming out broadside to Sparty. Lauria is pushing up as well, and the Brindisi is too. So that Grozovoy is about to have a very, very bad time if that Brindisi can get eyes on him. Shots coming in from the Thunderer towards the Des Moines. Friendly team is in the lead right now in terms of points, but there you go. The Kremlin is getting into the cap. So now the points gain is no longer occurring. But they do have a very comfortable 400-point lead. But, again, if all the ships get sunk, it really doesn't matter. Alright, we're at 2 out of 3. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shot there. Just taps him on the stern. The Moines is staying broadside, but not broadside enough. Ooh, reload booster now, courtesy of Halsey. He has a 2.4 second reload time with his Salem. This is quite terrifying here. There we go. So that's Confederate there and General Offensive. 2.4 second reload time on Salem guns. That is, he is now the main character and I believe the last boss that the enemy team is going to have to deal with. But that Thunderer is pushing into a Kremlin, not really ideal for a Thunderer. Those torpedoes, are they going to miss? Are they going to hit? Let's see. It's like some of them hit, but the Kremlin does take out the Thunderer. Kremlin does pop his will to victory, but it is not enough to keep him alive. But we still have a Lauria around. A Lauria with 18-inch sap. 18-inch sap doesn't really care about Des Moines armor at all, or Salem armor, I should say, at all. And the Brindisi's still up too, so again, if that Grozovoy gets spotted, it's going to be a very, very bad time. Now, the Grozovoy does have to keep the cap contested, because if the enemy team does cap it, they're going to win, again, with how fast this cap generates points. So you can't just leave. You have to... ooh, there we go. There's that slap from the Brindisi to the Grozovoy. Can he... I think he's limping back to his smoke, but the Lauria does have him spotted. Salem opens up on the Lauria. And now he's the last one alive because the Grozovoy has gone down. So he has like a Worcester reload now on his Salem, which this is kind of funny to watch. These are just his front two turrets, by the way, getting in on the action. So he's keeping his bow nestled in here, so trying to prevent the Brindisi from getting his sap shells into him. But Lauria still has a lot of HP, and it is a battle cruiser, but it still has armor, right? Okay, there comes Sap from the forward. 2 guns. This is definitely where his heals are going to very much come into play here. So you got high caliber. Brindisi Sap to the front. It's down to 44,000 HP. Ah, here comes the Brindisi, loading in the AP for the Brindisi. Brindisi realizes his mistake, but turns in just in time to avoid getting clapped again by our hero here. Is he going to overturn? Is he going to overturn? I think he might overturn. No, he understands the yep, a little bit there. Okay, another Citadel. Those improved AP pin angles really coming to effect now. Still throwing AP at him. He can probably knock out some of his main turrets if he can get those shells to land on there, especially with the fire rate that he's doing right now. Oh my god. Again, back to that 2.4 second reload time. He turns out just to get into the cap, and there we go. Well, we get into where the A cap would normally be, was trying to run for cover behind that island, but unfortunately not enough. So now all he really has to do is keep resetting this Laria, and they will win. But he's got to survive for 4 minutes against 18-inch Sap. He already popped one of his heals to get through that barrage of Sap damage that he was already encountering. So he keeps the AP loaded. He's trying with all his might, I think, to knock out that number 2 turret or one of these turrets. Because Ilaria knows he can't show him broadside because he will rip into him with his Sap. But he's just trying so desperately to knock out one of those turrets. Here comes the 18-inch Sap. Ooh, nicks him just a little bit there. Not too bad. Switches on over to H. He decides he's going to try and burn him out now. Oh my god, this has got to be making a lot of American heavy cruiser players very happy right now with this performance. Also, look how bad the dispersion is on these guns sometimes. Alright, there is one fire. Alright, Sap shells out, and ooh, getting awfully close there with these salvos. I know he only did like 3,000 damage, but he only has 10k HP left. Okay, there we go. Pops his super heal. He's got 48 non-pins on the Laria's armor, up to 300,000 damage now, just shy of it. Oof, there you go. That would have killed him if he would have had that good of RNG the last couple of salvos. Over 300,000 damage now. Fire on the 2 fires on the Laria at this point. He's given up trying to knock out. Oh, no, he's gone back to Sap now because the Laria's just desperately trying to get his rear turrets in the action. Gets a salvo out. Kraken unleashed and survives by 9,000 HP. 323,000 damage done in the Salem. 1.9 million credits earned with a base XP of 3,392. Very, very nice party. Good game all the way through. Again, very close. Not one side walking over the other, which is, of course, what we like to see. High caliber, Kraken Unleashed, Dreadnought, very much well earned. Strike Team, Confederate, and General Offensive. 323,000 damage done. Very nice game there. Sparty, that was pretty darn good. So if you guys have a replay you would like to send in, hopefully something that's maybe not another excellent Salem game, some type of variety would be nice. But anyway, guys, hope you guys have a wonderful Friday. I'm sorry, not Friday. I wish it was Friday. Wonderful Thursday. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, and all of that jazz. Hope you guys have a great Thursday, great rest of your week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.